are going to flow. This was inspired after last night. Here at our studio, Zenko Yoga on the Sunshine Coast, Mandy was actually practicing in my class. And do you remember when you came out and you were thinking, oh, should I do another class, or what am I going to do?
And Myron was like, hey, do you want to do a tag team for this next one? I'm like, yeah, why not? That sounds like a lot of fun.
So it wasn't planned, and we pretty much decided it about 1 minute before the class was starting. We walked into the studio and just sort of announced it while we made it up as we went along, and it was lots of fun.
It was loads of fun.
People gave us some great feedback.
Yep.
And so we thought, because we've been filming some, and you'll see from the library, we've been filming a few different ways that you can use blocks in your practice to support and to strengthen you. We thought, why not challenge us, and you can join in with this challenge, and see how we go tag teaming a flow with blocks.
It's like a block off.
A block off.
Yeah.
We have not planned this. I don't believe in planning, and I'm really glad Mandy doesn't either. So have some fun with us. You will need
a block.
A block. Or a book if you've got something like that at home, so that you've got some support, and we don't know where this is going to go, but have fun.
And if you do come up with anything really awesome over and above what we've done, take a photo. Please post it. We want to see it.
We love comments. We love feedback.
Yeah, we'll probably teach it in our next class.
In no particular order whatsoever. So as we feel into something, we'll just put it out there, yeah?
Okay.
Let's bring the hands to prayer, and let's bring the hands to block prayer.
Hands to block.
And honour each other. Honour our blocks. Thank you, block. Were you going to kiss the block?
I was. And
I think she nearly kissed the block.
And then I thought, this is probably a sweaty block. Okay.
Sweaty block.
Let's get started.
Let's get started. So we can contract right here, can't we?
Yep.
We can actually press the hands into the block.
Already engaging. Look at those biceps bulging. Lifting up. Reach it for the sky.
Inhale deeply.
Bending the elbows, taking it back.
Inhale, lift it back up. And exhale. 2 more rounds. It's actually remembering to engage as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm shaking.
Yeah. So already building our heat.
Exhaling down through center. Releasing the block onto the floor, turning it on its side. Shift the hips back. Knees under the hips. Arms up onto the block, just on the elbows, and then melting the chest in between the hole.
Deep flowing breaths in through the nose and out the nose. Take one last nourishing breath in. And then slowly start to come out of this pose. And Mandy, because we were going to touch on this one earlier and we didn't, we're going to do the chaturanga with the block beneath us. So let's do it now.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we're going to take the block on its mid-level and long ways, and then we're going to bring the torso down onto that block. Okay, just to where it's comfortable. It's going to be different for everyone as to where you place that. Hands are going to press into the floor, and you want your elbows to be just above the wrists, and then tuck the toes under, gaze forward, stay really broad through the collarbones, and keep lifting the chest. You want to keep hugging those upper arms in towards the midline of the body. This is our supported chaturanga, so we want to be up this high when we actually do chaturanga in our practice. What we often see as teachers is people coming into chaturanga with the shoulders really dropping down, which is not so good in the stability in the shoulder girdle, so you want to try and keep it nice and high. Okay, let's come down, because I don't know about you, I'm not on a block. Let's find child's pose. It's a block practice, so take the block out in front, L shape with the thumb and forefinger, and then just melt it down. Again, keeping that light engagement of the block here.
Yeah, with the thumb and the finger just gently touching. And then from here, we can actually just raise the head and then slide the block this time underneath the forehead for a variation. And let's use the block to actually find our way up to our first downward facing dog. Because we see a lot of time, often in the practice, incorrect positioning of hands and wrists. So spread the fingers and press them into the floor and tuck the toes under and lift the hips. You can pedal out the feet a couple of times here as you start to awaken the body.
Now that we've got our hands in place, let's pick up that block and use that once again. So pick it up and put it in between the legs, quite high up in the thighs, and start to squeeze that block together. So you can feel some core engagement there, activating through the legs.
And let's just do a little bit of practice moving with the block now in between the legs. And inhale as you glide yourself forward. Shoulders over wrists for the duration of the in-breath, and then fill into your out-breath and move back to downward facing dog. 2 more of those.
Let's walk the hands back towards the feet, keeping that block squeezing in nice and tight. Coming into a forward fold here, so taking hold of opposite elbows, just dangling forward. Not completely passive here, there is still that squeeze of the thighs holding the block up.
Which in fact there is when we're doing a hamstring stretch, because we actually activate the quads, lifting the knees to fill this into the hamstrings. So if you're not used to using a block here, you might really be enjoying the extra stretch for the hamstrings. I know I am. We're going to roll up to come to standing, so just let the arms dangle. And rolling the shoulders back and down.
And I'm going to bunny hop us to the top of the mat.
I like it.
Awesome. Hands together at heart center. Sun salutation with the block.
To jump or not to jump?
To jump. Lowering. Inhale up.
So you're going to bring the block away and place it back up the top of the mat. And then lift your right leg high towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the foot up outside the block. Place your hand now, that's the right hand, onto the block. Ground your back foot into the earth, and then just lift the opposite arm to the sky. You can choose to come into a half bind if you like here. You can leave the arm high to the sky. You can always take the arm overhead and extend. You might even enjoy the block on a different height here, and also on the other side of the foot. So you can play around with different heights.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Oh, I'm down into the back foot too.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
And on the other side.
Yay. Now I've got like envy of what side you're doing, so let's swap.
We're really confused,
Let's do
aren't
it.
we?
So I'm going
Let's
to come
just
up onto the
flow
ball of
back
back
the
my
other
back.
way.
I'm going to come onto the ball of the foot. Can I just do what you
Yeah,
just did
yeah, you
to
can.
feel
Yeah.
that? Because I really want to feel that now.
Quite strange and twisted.
And then you do the half bind.
Yeah.
So you're just doing
Yeah, I'm in side angle.
yeah,
right?
side angle now.
And when you're ready, do you want to come back to side angle? Because I've got something kind
Yep.
of cool here.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm
so
so ready.
I'm going to hold on to the block. I'm in side angle, really firming through my legs. I'm going to lift that block up and hug it. Yeah. Hello, legs. And then on an inhale, come back up, straighten out through that front leg. Let's find triangle pose from here.
Yeah.
So you're going to take the block, and it will be on the outside or the inside of the foot on any level you like, really. Opening the top arm to the sky. Again, we could do the same thing here, really. If you wanted to lift that bottom hand and hug the block, get a lot of core engagement, which is what we've been talking about in some of our classes today.
And then bend back into the knee. Bring the block back down to the floor. Slowly frame the foot. We're going to leave the block at the top of the mat and prepare for the opposite side. Yeah.
You do a hop switch.
Yeah, hop switch. Too easy. So I'm going to work.
I'm going reverse direction to what I did last time. It's going to be slightly different.
So you can see that we're slightly different. We're just doing slightly different variations. So just
This is what happens when we don't plan.
find a flow. Find a flow, but these are all different variations, and you can do so many, as we've realised and learned, you can do so many of these variations with the foot, the back foot grounded into the floor or lifting up onto the ball of the back foot. Then we came into Mandy's side angle pose.
Yeah. Ready, ready. Block floats up.
That's great. I can really feel that working inside the thigh.
It's strong.
Then we lifted back up.
Yeah.
And then we
Straightened out the
found-
front leg. Came into triangle pose. And then we lifted the block once again.
Then what we do?
And then we float down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the block down. Actually, yeah, let's step
Hop
back.
switch. We do hop switch. We'll do that again.
Hop switch again. And then just hop back to down dog. Okay, pick up the block. Place it in between the legs. Funky transition, Lauren. You ready for it?
So ready.
All right. Just trust. Drop the forearms. Coming to forearm plank.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Sink the hips down. Gaze forward. That's the one. All right. If you want to play some more onto one hand, shift into side plank. Block still squeezing. You could be on forearm, or you could lift up onto the hand, and then flowing from side to side. A few variations happening here. You can work with whatever goes for you.
Keep lifting the hips and keeping the core active.
This is a really good core exercise.
And then come on down to the knees and bring the block inside the hands. And you can do dolphin now with knees down to the floor in a knee variation, or you can tuck the toes and lift the legs. So we'll do the first few rounds on the knees, inhaling forwards. Ankles, wrists, elbows and shoulders all in one long line. Inhaling, moving forwards. And exhaling back. And then tuck your toes under, lift the hips, and next inhalation, glide you forwards. And then take rest
I
on the knees.
I think we burnt child's pose. Block. So it's placed on the lower back. And then rock the block from side to side to give you a back of massage. That feels kind of nice.
Feels nice. I'm thinking of making our way up to camel from here and bring the block between the thighs. Just to make sure the pelvic floor is active, the core is working and the thighs are working to keep the block in place. So the variation that you like to work with the most today? As we make our way out, how about hero pose for the support of the block? Might just move a little further forward because it's nice sometimes if you want to add on and feel more of a stretch.
Yeah, let's add on here and stretch the shoulders out a little bit. So taking both arms out towards the side, taking the right arm under the left, taking an eagle bind, lifting the elbows, forearms away from the face. If it feels good, you might want to back bend it or forward bend here, just to get into that stretch a little bit deeper.
And I just love all the opening it allows for in the front of the feet. But on the block, there's not as much pressure on the ankles and knees that often people are prone to feeling.
This is also really, really good for digestion. The meridians that run through the foot and through the front of that shin there are also linked to our digestive organs, so they get stimulated here. So if you have a big meal, come and sit in hero's pose for a while. Let's come to the other side, so reach your arms out. Wish I had another block now. Crossing the other way. And you might be sitting on more than one block. For some of us, you might need to sit on a couple for this to be comfortable.
And also just reminding you to keep the core active here, so you're not rounding into the lower spine too much.
Stretch the arms out. Release them down. And let's come into a Malasana, our yogi squat with the block for support under the hips. So tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. We're just going to sit back here. So you can take the block onto any level that feels supportive for you. And bring the arms onto the inside into Namaste. Opening out through the hips. You might want to sway a little from side to side.
Such a good alternative for people that have got particularly tight Achilles as well, for the back of the foot, where people can get quite tight.
So used a lot in pregnancy, isn't it?
Let's not get too comfortable here.
So nice though.
I was thinking, let's balance on the block. Maybe we'll turn it down to its flatter side.
Yep.
And come into Navasana.
Oh yeah. My mind's already getting creative.
Yeah.
With where
So
we can
you
go
might
to
want to
from here.
support your practice with the hands on the floor because you're not used to balancing
Base there.
on the block.
See, my mind wandered there. I was like, oh wow, where can we go to from here? I almost fell off. That's what happens when you get distracted.
Thinking and forward thinking, yeah.
Being present.
You can lengthen out one leg, you choose, and draw the other one over and come into a twist. Oh, that feels so good on the glute. You don't necessarily need that hand on the floor supporting your practice. You can bring it in for a bind. Releasing, coming to the opposite side. Where was your mind going anyway?
I was thinking about crazy stuff I could do with the block, like how I would get it from under my hips and into my hands, or I don't know what I was. My mind just went crazy.
It's great.
Possibility. The yoga journey's never over. There's always ways to add on.
Now I'm thinking about how we could put the block and balance it on our head somehow.
I was kind of going there too.
You gonna challenge us?
Actually, I've got something.
I just realised they're not talking to us, it's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of something really cool. So let's release out of this. And then you're going to take your feet back and see if you can grip the block between your feet. Right? And we're going to plant the hands down. Bear with me.
Yep, I'm
You're
with
going
you.
to hop back and
You could do crane pose first.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is going magical places. Right here. Didn't see this coming. It's kind of where I wanted to go. I'm going to try and shoot it back and keep the block. If it does not hit the floor, I think it's going to be almost a miracle.
Did you do it?
It's done.
She did it! That's brilliant.
That was kind of cool.
Wow, I love that. So you can do this ankle support. Oh, look at the jump forward as well. Nailed it.
That's kind of where my mind was going, but
I was going here, but that's okay.
But let's go there because that's a really good point. So about headstand, this
Yeah.
is actually how we work out where we put the weight on our head in headstand. So there's a spot when you bring this block onto your head, it's the crown of the head where we want to be. So where it sits nice and stable, that's where you want to put your head down on the floor. So let's work with that.
Yeah.
Take your block, hold it down nice and strongly, and then place it down, the block onto the floor, and then just lift the hands and the toes, pressing the head down, really firmly pressing into the hands. And just get used to feeling that part of your head on the floor.
That's a great cue, Mandy. I love that.
And then we can bend the knees, slowly come down. Just be mindful of the neck.
Oh, were you coming up? Sorry, I didn't realise you were coming up. That's okay. I can stay where I was.
No, I didn't come into headstand.
Yep.
I've never done it on a block and I'm not going to try on TV. You're looking at me as if to say, do it.
If we supported ourselves.
Yeah, I'm sure it's possible.
Yeah.
Let's try it, right?
Sideways? I'm just thinking, should it be sideways or long ways?
I thought I was doing tripod. Like tripod. I was in tripod.
Yeah, sorry, you were.
So it's just a bit more, I feel like I have a lot more weight through my head than I normally do.
Yeah,
So
okay.
for that reason, I probably wouldn't encourage doing this. Because you want to keep even
Oh,
weight
yeah.
through hands and feet. And I feel like that puts a lot more stress through my neck. So I actually don't think that's
No.
a good variation. So,
No, because of the height difference.
Yeah, folks, don't try this one at home.
You could do it if you had 3 blocks.
If you had 3 blocks, but then
Yes.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we workshop things.
Yeah.
Let's keep flowing, girlfriend.
All right, let's go with it. Are you ready to like balance on the block?
Yeah, I was thinking tree. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah. I was channeling trees too.
I'll do one facing and you do one facing me if you like.
Okay. I was gonna hop onto the block.
Oh yeah.
This is too much fun. This is what we do in our spare time, by the way.
Yogi's just hanging out doing yoga.
Life of a yoga teacher. It's not bad, really. So what the block does here, it's just introducing a little bit of instability into the ankle. Because it's a squishy surface, you tend to get a little bit more rocking happening. Okay, so if you're getting bored with tree pose on the ground, you can always spice up your practice by standing on a block.
I was just thinking about what we were talking about before, which is probably why my balance is out, because I was thinking about, becoming a yoga teacher. And when you feel this move so strong after you've been practicing, where you just feel like you just want to share it and share it and share it. And we do have some news coming soon about teacher training here at the studio, which Mandy is working on as we speak.
See, Mandy's getting excited and falling off the block because, again, mind wandering to amazing things that aren't the present moment.
So we're swapping sides if you hadn't already established.
So many lessons in presence in this flow.
And then what does it take for you to immediately drop back in?
Breath.
Yeah, I use the
Just
breath
breathe.
straight away.
Yeah.
Huh? Connect with your centre.
I think the first thing is awareness and be like, look at that, I just got distracted. And then be
Okay.
like, okay, center in breath.
And then a drishti, that focus point.
Which my drishti's on you right now, so you must be pretty stable and not falling over.
Mine's on the tripod. Not your tripod, the camera tripod. Last breath.
Is it shaking right now?
Thank goodness it's not. I'm coming out. Awesome.
All right, let's flow back onto the floor and start to
Yeah,
wrap it
because
up. What do you reckon?
I reckon we could definitely start wrapping it up, but I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of a half moon thing,
Yeah.
warrior 2 up to half moon,
Yeah,
and see what. Oh, I know what we could. Yeah, I got it.
got something.
I got
Go with
something. In fact, let's just step back half moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for everyone. So you want to set up your block on the highest level, usually for most of us, and we're going to bring the hand down onto the block.
Yeah, and can we also do the revolved as well?
Yeah.
So important to use
I was
the
thinking
block on
revolved,
those,
yeah. And I was actually thinking then drop into revolved triangle, so ground down and
Yeah,
swap.
they're like the block poses, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
No denying it.
Drinking consister. You got it.
All over it, girlfriend. Okay.
I'm still in teacher training. Not really.
Hardly. Well, actually, we always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always learning, always growing. I learn from you all the time, Mandy.
Always learning. Our
So-
teachers are everywhere.
Even the places you don't know it.
Mhm.
So you can do some variations here. You can bring the hand into the heart. You can bring it to the top of the foot and fold the leg back and give yourself a quad stretch while you're there. You can also bring the opposite hand to the heart. So that would be neglecting and leaving the block alone.
Leaving the block.
And because we're swapping sides, we're going to take the opposite hand now to the block. And then you want to square off the hips and then lift the opposite arm.
And supercharge that back leg. Really activate it. Press the ball of the foot out and away.
Two more breaths here. Use the core as well. And feel like you're really pressing the block into the earth. And then ground the back foot that's up, ground it down to the floor. Slide the block towards you, and I would bring it outside the foot. And then with that top arm where it was, just bring it back there. You can take the gaze and experiment with some different options here. You're going to really feel that beautiful stretch into the back calf. Anything else, Mandy?
No, not really. Main thing is to try and keep squaring the hips in this one and rooting down to rebound up. So really pressing into that bottom hand to try and square the shoulders. If it's okay for your neck, you would gaze up to the thumb here.
Let's bend into the front knee and step the back leg to join the front and come into revolved chair supported by the block.
Oh, a block.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But let's take it on a narrow level. And once again, get that engagement with the hands.
Good.
Stretch it out, yeah?
Yeah, good idea.
Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Dangling forward here. There's a block here to lengthen and lift. And then exhale to come back down. Now we've got to get to the other side.
Mhm.
How are we going to get there? We could come straight in.
Mm-hmm. Straight in.
Half moon.
I actually taught half moon pose this morning only because one of our training teachers at the moment I got her to throw a pose in and practice teaching it. And you know, you have those moments as a teacher and you go, oh my gosh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you've neglected a pose for the last few weeks. Well, this is my neglected pose. So I'm so glad we're doing it today.
That's good. We're going to really activate the back toes here as well, the back foot. That's going to keep you connected to the core. Been talking about that a lot today.
And just reminding you as well to work the variations that you did on the previous side. It's so nice on my quad, stretching that pain. Shall we swap sides then? Revolve half moon?
Yeah.
You could just stay there forever.
No, not really.
I felt like you could.
Intensely concentrating. I was really wobbly on the other side, so
Isn't
I
it
was actually
interesting how certain sides are stronger certain
intention and
days?
effort into my pose.
Yeah. But it's also what we tell ourselves. I had a client, he came in once and he said to me, actually it wasn't even at the studio, it was out one weekend. I saw him out of Zenko, but you know people still want to talk about Zenko, right?
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, I've got this thing I do at yoga. He's like, I've told myself I'm really good on the right side. So whenever I go to the right side, I am really good. And I'm not good on the left side. I'm like, well, how is that really serving you?
Exactly.
Should we step it back?
Yeah, let's step it back. And find our revolve triangle. So the block's going to come to the outside of the foot.
So I challenged him and I said, what if there was no conversation?
What if there was no left and no right?
And you know what? His practice has changed.
Yeah.
But it takes one to admit it, doesn't it?
And
You've got to
it's-
first
it's
realise
so-
that you do it.
yeah. And it just the depth of that, like how many stories do we tell ourselves that actually create patterns in our life?
Mm. Because what we tell ourselves, we believe. So if he's telling himself he's good on the right, he is good on the right.
And if he's doing it a lot, he's really going to strongly believe
Yeah.
that.
And then the whole system's out.
That's what yoga's all about, really,
Yeah.
is getting past those
Yeah.
belief patterns that aren't serving us.
Like, you can't do yoga with a block.
Yeah.
Imagine that sort of like, didn't we come into a twist?
Yeah, we stepped up from here. Yeah, well, we've just shown, I don't know how long we've been flowing for, but we didn't plan any of this, and blocks are very useful.
I love this contracting one.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Lauren, but I feel like my body's been working right
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I still feel like there's something random coming up
now.
just before we finish off.
Okay. I've got it.
Yeah, she's got
Have
it.
you got something?
No.
No? Alright. Block between the feet. I'm always going to do the
Yeah.
silly hoppy stuff because I really enjoy it in my practice. Hands onto the floor. And you know the claps that we do?
Yep.
But we're just going to not clap, we're really just going to hug in.
Yep.
And see if we can kick up with the block. It's
Cool.
really challenging. Actually.
Yeah, it is.
But see if you can like tap your butt with your block.
All right.
It helps to put it back into place.
What, back in place?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's another cool one as well. To release the block and try and catch it again.
I didn't do that on purpose. That was accidental. Awesome, so much fun.
Do you want to do a couple of seated postures?
Yeah, something
Just to-
seated.
Let's bring it back down.
Yeah, we're
You
down.
could even, how are you feeling pidge? You feeling pidge right now?
Yeah, probably could do with it in the glutes.
Yeah.
Or you wanting to skip it?
Yeah. No, we always need pigeon. It's everyone's most loved, hated pose, right?
Yeah. So I think we could even do different ones. I don't know what you were feeling for block support. I was actually feeling more underneath the forehead, but
Yeah, I
maybe
was
you were feeling hip. Yeah.
Because a lot of people like the
And it's
support of
nice.
the
We can
block
show
under
the
here, so-
variations.
We are being filmed right now, so we should probably move, right? Or we could just stay here for another 10 minutes.
I'm sure they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's pigeon.
It's so good. So good. Alright, let's make a move. How do you want to bust out of here?
All fours rocket out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where's the block coming to play there? What about keep it
Balance it there.
Keep it there, yeah. Rock it out, but we slowly,
nice.
mindfully keep that block.
Yeah, so that makes the movement so much
Yeah.
smaller.
Be completely present, aware.
I feel like, I know we've got pigeon coming up on the opposite side, but I feel like there's something we could do here.
Ooh.
And then bring the head down.
Yeah, there's another variation
Yeah.
there as well. Some people really need that block in this pose, like when you're coming to a shoulder opener.
Uh-huh.
Often we have the head and it's like really uncomfortable. You're like, yeah, my shoulder's stretching, but my head's uncomfortable. Use a block.
Mm-hmm.
So you were stretching the other way just there. I kind of opened it up. You were going more closed.
Yeah,
Both good.
both good. Don't worry, pigeon, we're coming back.
Pigeon will always be with you. I feel like that was the biggest pose for me in my whole life. Like, pigeon's
yeah.
been where the most breakthroughs have come.
Yeah, I mean, the hips are emotional houses, right?
Yeah, it's just such a deep pose when you really sink into it and breathe.
Swapping over sides with the shoulder. And shoulders. We carry so much in our shoulders, so it's always nice through a strong flow to just give the shoulders a bit of love somewhere. You can do this against the wall as well.
I always find it useful in these poses as well to constantly check in and see where I'm holding tension. Like a few seconds ago, someone might have noticed it. My toes were like really active, and it took that moment of going, why are my toes engaged here?
Ah,
What
yeah.
am I holding on to? Why do they need to be doing anything right here? It's that overdoing always.
Nice observation.
It's just letting that go.
Pigeon from all fours. Not sure whatever side I'm even up to.
Opposite side to what you did before. I think I went the opposite way to you, so I feel like.
Thank you. What would I do without you?
You probably walk sideways.
Off kilter for the rest of the day, but I did yoga. What's wrong with me today?
You would be okay though.
You know that feeling when you walk out of class and it's like, now I can take the rest of my day on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin was saying that this morning after class. He just said, I don't know why, but the days that I come and like do yoga, so obviously take an hour and a half out of his office day, he's a business consultant. He's like, are always the days I do more than any other day.
Productivity, right?
Right, because he comes home and he's on and you're present. That's why they say, you know, working in short bursts, and just when you're feeling it, when you're feeling into working, you're working. When you're not, there's no point in sitting there at your computer trying to work when you're just not into it. I think I just love being a teacher, just to hear people's observations of yoga.
Yeah, me too. Get so much joy out of just hearing the experiences of people when they step into this room. Any room for that matter.
Any room.
Doesn't even need to be a room.
Just be in the yogic mindset. So we're going to make our way up and out. I was thinking we could use a block between the legs as we roll back. Just do a few rolls here. So nice, gentle rolls. Do we want a back bend or?
How about a back bend version and tell me about it?
Yep. I might choose to work with for Will.
Okay, I'm going to work bridge.
That's nice, and everyone can see the different variations. So Mandy's going to work into bridge as she draws her feet in towards the body, soles of the feet plant, legs engaged. She's going to take the arms either side of her, palms face down. And she's going to interlace the fingers. You can either leave the hands down to the earth or interlace the fingers, and then draw the shoulders in towards one another and lift the hips. I'll be taking my hands behind me. If I've got a full chaturanga practice, I can come into this. I'm just going to get the block in the right spot. It's interesting because you realise there are little habits and tendencies you have in the practice. Mm-hmm. So usually, actually, I would walk my feet out a little wider than this.
Mm-hmm. It's good to mix it up sometimes.
It's
Just
great.
Try something slightly different.
But so, like, such a tiny difference,
Yeah.
yet so great in my practice. Like, I'm feeling this completely differently in my arms because of what's happening in my legs.
Mm-hmm.
I always have that feeling after full wheel, you know, it's like, now I've landed.
Such a good pose.
Oh.
Right, I'm feeling a supported inversion here, so I'm actually just going to take the block under my hips, under my sacrum,
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
take my legs up to the sky. I'm just finding that point where it feels quite effortless. There shouldn't be any engagement happening in the belly here.
So I'm coming up into a shoulder stand. Fingers drawing up towards the sky. Legs squeezing the block. I'm working down now into plough. Still squeezing the block between the thighs. Toes overhead towards the earth. Interlace the fingers perhaps. Definitely don't want to drop the block here because it would drop right down onto my face. You know, I don't know why, Mandy, but I'm in plough pose and it feels different through my shoulders. With the block between my thighs.
Different through the shoulders?
Yeah.
I need to experience this.
Maybe because of the reaction that they're experiencing after a full inversion. Probably.
Or perhaps it's after your wheel, using your shoulders differently.
Yeah. One of those two. I'm rolling out.
It doesn't feel too different for me.
So that probably proves the point then, that it was one of the previous poses. So you know how sometimes we'll say, oh, this pose hurts me, or this pose makes me feel this way. It's not necessarily that pose. It can be something that led to it. It can be our lifestyle or something completely different. It has nothing to do with yoga.
When I said to you today, I'm like, my belly's tired, it's sore. I'm like, what have I been doing? Actually, I've been coughing a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
Time of year.
It's lifestyle factors. Sometimes. Supported fish.
Yeah, supported fish. You can do any of the heights or
I'm going to go
positions.
mid-back. I'm going to place mine kind of here today.
nice. High side like that or flat
yeah,
side?
I'm going all the way today.
Okay, I'll keep
Go
mine
flat.
long.
Can go high, but I feel like this is where I'll get my deep back bend today.
And soles of the feet in, knees out wide,
For me.
bound angle variation.
One interesting thing I can share here though,
Yeah.
opening through the throat. If you are experiencing a cold or you have a cough, often bringing the head back will instigate that coughing reaction. So if you're in a class and you've just got a lingering cough, sometimes it's better to skip out the fish pose and resist that opening up through the throat. So the reality is that's probably not the best pose for me today.
How are we going to meditate with our blocks?
Nestle on our belly and make sure we're ujjayi. We're still deep breathing, not ujjayi, because we don't do that.
Yeah. Or even on the
Use
hips.
it as a pillow.
As a pillow, actually, I have something else. Can we do one more thing?
I know what's
before we go
coming.
down? Yeah.
I think I know what's coming.
Maybe not.
Oh.
There's a really beautiful way to give your neck a release and massage lying on the block. Were you thinking that as well?
No, I wasn't
Where
actually.
you'll just come to lie down.
I was going to put
You're
the.
place the edge of the block under the. You'll feel there's 2 spots here, the occipital, I think it's called, and you want the block to sit there. And
Is it?
just
You've
rest
angled
the
yours.
head.
Should it be angled?
Yeah, it will angle a little bit for some.
Oh.
It's just you just want to get that sensation of, a firm pressing into that area of your neck.
Oh, that is
And
so
you just take
nice.
your head from side to side. It's like a beautiful little massage.
Why have I never experienced this?
So your block might tip up and come at a little bit of an angle, but that's fine as long as it's quite
Yeah.
firm and feels strong on the floor. If you find a really juicy spot, you could stay there for a few breaths and see if you can release it.
This is giving me tingles into my head. This is awesome, Maddie.
It's a really nice one. This is getting more into the myofascial release work. Which we could do another whole video actually. I just thought about another 10 things I want to share with you using blocks for this sort of work.
Oh, it's lovely. So the pose I was thinking about, which probably lead us in really nicely into Shavasana, was just to bend the knees, lift the hips, and slide the block underneath the sacrum. And it is nice on that high side as well, but you can do it on the flat side, either of the 3 heights in actual fact.
And you're lengthening the legs out.
Lengthen the legs out.
Open
And
through the psoas.
if you want to feel it deeper in the psoas, you can draw one knee into the chest too.
Or you can take one foot back as well and bring the top of the foot down onto the floor for a half virasana, a half gyro.
Yeah, beautiful. So I'll
That's
bring this
also
one in.
a way to get into the quad and the hip,
Mhm. I'm just swapping sides still, Mandy. So
I haven't moved. I was so comfortable.
okay. And releasing. I'm going to bring my head into yours so we're in the same place. Meditating.
I think I'm going to use my block on my hips just to get that sensation of grounding and just having a bit of a weight there.
I might use mine on my belly. Just as like as though someone's just placing their hands on me, bringing some love and nurturing.
We can get some real stuff here too.
Oh.
A little massage with the shoulders, partner work.
We'll do a partner flow next.
Yeah, maybe not today.
Not today.
Okay, let's go into Shavasana.
Night night.
Night night.
Bringing some gentle movement back. Rolling the head from side to side. Slightly bending at the knees, removing the block. Rolling onto your block, placing it beneath the head. So we are still supporting a practice with a block right up to the end. Slowly coming up, and you can choose to sit cross-legged on the block. You could rest it in your lap, you could balance it on your head.
We'll come back into Hero's Pose.
Namaste.
Namaste.